Daily Broadside day 582. So over the weekend, I guess a streaker got loose in the It's a Small World thing in either Disneyland or Disney World. And I've ridden on that ride in Disney World, and it's horrific. It's just, you can't even define how annoying that stupid ride is. I don't even know if it's still there in Disney World, so maybe it's in Disneyland that they're talking about. But I gotta say, you get naked and that It's a Small World playing. I don't know if like there was straight up mental illness or like the irony was lost on the guy, because you got to have some penis confidence to get out there and with that song playing constantly on a loop. So more power to that guy. Or if he was mentally ill, I hope he gets the help he needs, one or the other. Now, while we're speaking about penises, I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day, and she went out last weekend to like a little, it's like a bar/barbershop, and that sounds really weird, but everybody loves it. So she's drinking at this barbershop, and in come like I don't know, there's some kind of like South American football, which means soccer, football team that was in town for some, I don't know what, but anyway, and they're all kind of short. But she said the one dude was like mega short. She's like, this dude had to be 4'11". Now she's 5'2". So when she's towering over somebody, that's a little crazy. And so she's like, this dude, he had to be 4'11", because I was a couple inches taller than him. His name was Gio. And I was like, God, I immediately was like, I was like, I don't know if I could wake up in the morning. I don't know if I could continue to live if I was 4'11" as a dude, that just doesn't compute with me, how you find the confidence. And you ever notice how a lot of dudes that are really, really short, they work out really hard, so they're all cut and lean and everything, because they got so few things going for them in the height department that they've got to do everything they can to make themselves palatable to the person that they're looking to mate with or date or whatever. Date or mate, you know what I mean? And I told her, so when you see a guy like that, I would assume that all women, when they see a guy that's that diminutive and that tiny, right? Because that is just vastly, even by women's standards, that's really short, But by a dude, that's crazy. I said, when you see a guy like that walk in the room, you automatically assume he's got a small Johnson, right? She's like, and without even thinking, she didn't pause, nothing. She's like, oh, yes, absolutely, 100%. And I'm like, man, I said, that's got to be rough. That's got to be rough, because you're just starting in a hole from because, I'm assuming there's got to be people out there that are, decently or well endowed that are 4'11". I'm sure those anomalies exist, but women aren't going to let you think that. Or women aren't going to think that, I should say. So you're automatically starting in a hole, and they're taking all the anomalies and outliers off the table and being like, short, small Johnson, It's like walking into a room and everybody knowing that you have the IQ of like bean dip, you've got like an 80 IQ. And that's just a difficult place with which to mingle, and, you got to buy a lot of drinks, you know what I mean? Because people are just going to get away from me, little man. You got to have a hell of a bubbly personality, let's say. You got to be able to crack jokes, have a smart wit. You got to be highly intelligent. You got to be good looking, I would assume. Because if you're 4'11" and ugly, man, that's a bad motor finger right there. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just a sad lot in life. And I don't understand, why stuff like that is created. Because, and I'm glad that there's people out there that can live with themselves being that small, the Mickey Rooneys of the world, and parlay that into something. But I don't know, man. If I'm shorter than most women, that would just bother me till I couldn't think about it anymore. I watched a video yesterday. I have no idea if it was actually her house, but it said it was. It was a real quick tour of Sandra Bullock's $30 million Beverly Hills. I think it was in Beverly Hills estate. It's not what I thought that woman would live in. I thought she'd be more of like a down home country living type thing, barn dominium type, whatever. But she's got this like mega hotel looking house, all this marble everywhere and all this whatever. And it was pretty and all, but I'm gonna tell you, if I got $30 million invested in a house, I better need a map with like a legend attached to it to find my way back to the kitchen. Because I want labyrinths and caves and rock climbing walls to get to other levels of the house, and hidden passageways and secret corridors and those things they put under France. Catacombs. I want catacombs in my house with and without dead bodies. Like, I want all that crap. I want to have to, like, just completely get mired in where in the hell was I, you know? That kind of thing. But this was just it wasn't that big of a house. I mean, it was a big house, but it wasn't that big of a house for $30 million. That's crazy. But anyway, so I'm looking at it, and it appears to me that, like a lot of these California houses, it's got this huge, like, living room and, like, a roll-up door or windows that disappear into the wall, or doors that open sideways, whatever. And it's just open to the exterior of the world. And I'm like, man, in North Carolina, if you were to have that, you would have, like, an insectarium in your living room within about 40 seconds. There'd be stink bugs and mosquitoes and ants and spiders and just everything you can think. Granddaddy long legs, just all kind of little, well, those little ladybugs just float, which those are kind of cool. You know, they come in from the cold in the winter for some unknown reason. You'll find them in your house this time of year. But, you know, you would have everything all over your house. Does none of that exist in California? Is that the draw, that it never rains, so you can have a convertible like 11 months out of the year and no bugs come in your house when you open up an entire wall of your house? I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all. It makes no sense to me. And I'll tell you what, I saw somebody rode by a lake yesterday. I saw somebody had a paddle boat up on the shore. And, man, owning a paddle boat must be like, it'd be like owning a boomerang. You know, like, ooh, I'm gonna buy this boomerang. It's gonna be awesome. And you buy the boomerang, and you're not in Australia, so you don't really need it as a weapon or anything to hunt or whatever they do with those things. You just want a boomerang. I had one once. They're kind of cool. For about 42 seconds. Throw that thing, and it comes back to you for the most part. And, you know, you don't catch it because you don't want to lose a finger, but it lands pretty close to you. It's a pretty neat little invention. And then you throw it a couple more times, and you're like, I really wasted some money here because I don't really have a need for this, and I don't see me ever doing this again. And you got to have like an area void of trees to use the boomerang, because it'll just get stuck and stuff. So you got to have like a field. Most people don't have fields in their property, you know, so you can't really just go boomeranging in the suburban area that I lived in. That boomerang got stuck in a pine tree, to climb over the pine tree to get it, and then I was like, it just sat in my closet the rest of my time, and I don't know what happened to that boomerang. I wonder about it sometimes. But a boomerang is like a paddle boat. You buy that paddle boat, and you're like, that's right, kids. Woo! We got us a paddle boat! You know, and you go back because you live on a pond or some lake or some crap, and I guess you're too cheap for a two-stroke engine, but you put that thing in the water, and you're like, you know, you're out there just paddling, you're boating. You're really not boating, you're just fake boating, but you're paddle boating, and then you're like, this sucks. I'd rather be floating out here on a boomerang. I mean, it's a bad experience. I got on one of those things one time, couldn't get off of it fast enough. It was horrible. So, to people that buy paddle boats, I hope they're free, because I'd like to see the trade-off from when you buy that thing and how excited, like you could wear like a little pulse bracelet or something to measure like how excited you were, and paddle boat, the kids are gonna love this. And then like the next morning you wake up and you're like looking out the windows and you're like, freaking paddle boat, that was $1,800 that I'll never get back, because who the hell's gonna buy a used paddle boat? Nobody, that's right. Y'all have a great one.